Hello folks, let's continue where we left off. This is Bob Brew, this is Modern. This is the second part of the second big extended control task between Counter's Company and Jen's Dev Shadow. So what happened in that first, I think, post-cyber game is that there was a Tarfired Manadork, there was a path in turn 2 on his Goif. Now you see a Mish's Bubble, and just passing up the turn. So my turn 3 was a Kitchen Things. You see life totals at the bottom of your screen. Here is what can cost 3? Witness, I guess. Suppose that's Eternal Witness. Oh no, that's tracker, right. So I didn't expose the tracker on turn 3, because this way I actually get to for sure get at least one clue token. So yeah, the typical hold on for the tracker till turn 4, cast it, then lay down a fetch. So later, what I find out after this game, or towards the end of it rather, was that he actually had the removal at this point, and he decided not to use it for some reason. So while this is somewhat correct, because, well, he preserves removal for combo pieces, of which he has limited amount, but with me having such a dominating board and such an oppressive board, so I think he should have actually used it here. Pretty much once the first trigger went on stack, because then of course I can in response to that first trigger crack the fetch limb to get another one, but you see, he needs to kind of try to also use his mana more or less in an efficient way, and just keeping around this tracker is not great, because also, especially if his plan was just to dump 2 shadows. So now he uses push on the tracker, and not at the end of his turn. Well, if you plan to do that anyway, why not to do it at the end of my turn, because then he can draw into something potent. He didn't crack this bubble just yet, which is weird. Well, he can do that at the end of my turn, though, for example. So he doesn't have to do this now. I suppose he waited on the push and decided upon it once he drew the second shadow. That could be a thing. Maybe, like, with one shadow in hand, he thought that, well, perhaps I should just, keep it around for combo pieces. It's obviously not great to use the push on the things. But yeah, once he, I guess, drew maybe the second one, then maybe it made sense to try to, get rid of too many blockers. I don't think I have Township on there yet, but I passed without tapping anything. I have Canopy also there. So I suppose I had a company there somewhere. Well, these shadows are gigantic, and I don't have that much removal, like definitely much less than the John has. So if he finds a Battle Rage here, I'm probably toasted. That would just be too much, because he's at 6. I actually see now a Rage in his hands. I actually see it. So that's why he actually... Yeah, that should have been a signal that he cracked it and have it untapped. Because while he's at 6, if he didn't have, such a crazy card like that. Okay, he actually Tarfires first. The kitchen thinks after the blocks. Because, okay, I get to gain some life, but if he gives his Shadow Trample, then that's pretty sick. It actually doesn't matter here which one I try to kill with big game here, because he can react to that, and I can't wait till the damage. So things persist back against some life, but the point is that still before damage he goes for the rage here, and this is like what, 7 putting me down to what? There's 7. Yeah, 14, putting me down to 4. And still have a pretty much lethal guy there. Yeah, but now I think if I draw Township, I actually just kill him on the backswing. I have to clues also to find some guess or some removal, like a path or something, because his deck actually cannot, you know, do direct damage like that. So there is no Acolyte to speed up the shadows, which I'm actually a big fan of. Just gives another angle for the deck. You can win games where your opponent thinks they're safe, for example. With green and Traverse in the deck, I just don't know. I would still play that. It kind of gives you a clunky card, but it gives you a lot of like wins in the games where you have no business winning. Stuff like that. It's actually not that bad on its own, I think. Like 4 power haster. Okay, so I drew Township, but I decided not to use it, or what's the case? Because it would be like, no, I would have been 1 point short, yeah. So that's why I guess I didn't use it here, because that was 1 point short. So 2 from the Hunter, and recharge things would be 3 more. Right, so he cast another Shadow and just passed the turn. I guess he had to go for that Battle Rage because my shells were sort of down at that point. Nothing like a path, for that matter. And if I didn't draw all these creatures, then 1 or 2 shadows would just, provoke a bunch of chump blocks every turn. Alright, so I cracked both clues at his end, so fishing for some action. He just has 1 card in hand, didn't get a glimpse of what that was. Okay, cracking Canopy just to dig more. I think I had something decent in my hand, but there are some draws here that just straight to heck win me the game here. Okay, here's Neverland. Here's Neverland. Problem is, I'm just trying to picture how this game would go even after sideboard against Grixis Shadow, and I don't think it would have gone as good. I don't think it would have gone this well, because they have just like way more interaction really that matters for a matchup like that. just passed the turn because, well, it was kind of like too risky to moving. So he's going to 4, trying to fish for like a Terminator and second Battle Rage, which is a lot to ask for, but he could have some good stuff going on. Here is the last hope. That actually wouldn't really kill anything, because I can just, use the township for whatever he targets. Well, I mean, not for whatever, but for all my guys. Okay, so this was all part of his plan to make sure to get rid of the things. This actually worked out well for him, so that was like pretty good sequence, I think. At the time, it didn't look that good to me, but now I definitely say that that was a good play. So now I was forced to jump both the guys, and yeah, I'm out of this. I'm simply out of this. I can't answer both of them. Some blockers would just die to the last hope. So yeah, close game, close game. He had to really draw a lot of good stuff here. And he drew basically double removal. That's kitchen things, but that's not really gonna help a whole lot. Here's a ballista for 2. And yeah, I had a land in my hand. That would have been land number 8, which would have meant ballista for what is it, 4 next turn, which would just kill him. But with 2 shadows out, yeah, that was it. So Inquisition, that didn't really matter, but yeah, showing him land and something irrelevant. Oh yeah, 2 lands. But yeah, he can just, well, he doesn't have, what is it? He doesn't actually have lethal here. Yeah, it doesn't matter if he minuses the ballista. I would have needed like a second ballista here off the top or something like that too. And this is probably one of the arguments to run 2 in deck, and not just 1 ballista, and not just ballista plus runners. Because if you already run like Archangel plus Feeder and Red Cap, and the surgical and ballista or something like that doesn't really matter that much. And yeah, I think I had 2 bike swords in play. No, I didn't, but I could have fetched it earlier. Yeah, showing him a couple lands and devoted. That doesn't really do much here. So, scoopsies, next game, close one, I should say. But yeah. Would have been much comfortable with Eldrazi's this game, like, for sure. Especially against John. I would have Wretched Bombs going, all this dust going, all kinds of things. Just simply all kinds of things. Because his draws were not actually particularly fast. Not at all, I should say. So yeah, Rondus is good, but if you run only 1 ballista, you probably want a Rat Cap 2 in the deck. Because if you manage to put your opponent really low, especially in the Shadow matchup, Cord for Red Cap could save the day. It's just a good option to have in games like that. I would say it's really important. I should say it's really important. Hmm. But yeah, flooding now doesn't help in this matchup for sure. I had some like really good draws that would have got me out of this. I had several turns to actually draw something meaningful, but I didn't. It wasn't just about the last two turns. I had a chance to draw into some real action for I don't know 5 turns maybe or something like that. The game did take a while, in fact. So I had just a tap shock on turn one. He put an untapped shock on turn one. So this could mean Tarfire because it's a blood crypt. Mm, what else it could mean? It could mean a fatal push for tempo. So yeah, also that's a good tip. Unless they know what you play, uh, but you don't know what they play. If your opponent does a thing like this, like fetch into untap shockling pass on turn one, and yeah, it looks like John's colors, I should say there's a good chance that this is a shadow deck. Because they might just do it like this without even having a play on turn one. What did he push? I think he pushed the Devoted Druid, which is a big bummer. It cuts off turn 3 kills. Like, turn 3 actual kills. So all it takes is just drop a Ballista and that's it. I mean, drop a Vizier and then, you know, all it all it could take like one chord or like a company into I don't know recruiters straight ahead. Another reason to actually play two recruiters at least, just to have higher odds, and also because one could get discarded and yeah. So in a metagame full of discards and counters, when you're playing a combo deck that needs certain pieces to actually go off, so then yeah, it's good to have like more than one copy of everything, pretty much. My big problem with Thronos over second Ballista is that you actually have to have stuff on board that can attack the same turn, which could be problematic at times. Yeah, he has just a 2-2 Shadow here. Nothing that threatening just yet, but it could become arbitrarily large next turn. It's a kitchen things, I believe. Which is an alright turn 3 play, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. Also, bear in mind that Grixis Shadow, which snaps and visions, uh, can really interact much better, I think, with the company deck because you can flashback the Fatal Push, you can flashback Discard or Serum Visions. It's just it's much crazier grind, I should say. So yeah, just bringing you a few more details why I think that company deck, despite the power level, is just not a reliable deck choice. Even though it had amazing results last weekend at SCG events, but still, just do not get delusional about the deck. It still struggles against the same thing that still technically exists in the format, but of course to a much lesser extent. But you know, at the GP you would see basically everything. because there will still be a pretty decent proportion of the players and the fields that will just bring their pet deck that they just had forever, because they just they live nearby and wanted to travel with friends, so things like that. Okay, Fin Hunter hid away the shadow. Goeb's attacking, I think it's just a 4. Yeah, it's 3-4. So I still couldn't trade with things. But here's another question. Here is another goif. Now with 9 he's at 8, so yeah. There's a path for the blocking goif. And now I can try to raise here actually, putting him down to 4. So yeah, unless he has a trick or removal, he can't really attack next turn. That's the thing. Okay, and here's a functional proxy ballista for 1. That might just sell the deal, especially if I draw another land. Well, no, that's still not technically lethal. I know it is, yeah, it is. So, I don't know why he cast this Footsies, just maybe to see what's up and to see what he had to play around. What I could have presented next turn. So, just, well, I would have been able to show him my hand anyway. So yeah, there is a ballista, so that will put him to 1, regardless, this turn. If he gets rid of it, it's still not lethal, though. So I don't know if he had outs there. Yeah, he's just looking at, like, I guess he just doesn't have anything good for this turn. Just gonna die next turn regardless. I don't know why he cast his footsies. Maybe he didn't have a way out no matter what. Even if he didn't cast it, so staying at 4. Well, Ballista go to 2. Let's say you block things. That's 3 attacks and then shoot with Ballista. So maybe, what did he have? He had the Battle Rage and the land, it seems. Well, that just wouldn't be enough. Okay, 4, 8 power. Okay, he was 1 point short. 1 point short. No, not 1. But close. I guess if it would have been like a 5-6 glyph, that's like 10 power, then I negate 1 with the block, so I still die. So he needed basically to grow the glyphs with some bubbles and things like that. But yeah, it was a close one, I should say, which is not something to be proud of. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Until the next video.